Let's be honest, first day of summer did not get off to a great start. Brewers dropped 6-2 in Game 2 of this series against the Cardinals. Let's find some silver linings and get you ready for Game 3 tonight.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, June 22nd, officially the second day of summer. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. This is Locked On Brewers, your only daily podcast dedicated to the Brew Crew all season long. We post episodes Monday through Friday right here wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by the Sports Card Investor app. Welcome to the world of trading cards reimagined. Stay tuned later in the show for more information about this awesome new tool for collectors. You're going to want to check this out, the Sports Card Investor app. I'm the statistician for Bally Sports Wisconsin, bringing you all the stats and notes and all the need to know as the Brewers drop Game 2 of this series. Again, a 6-2 final score. It started off very different, and it ended with a little bit of a whimper as Jack Flaherty got the start in against the spot start of Chi Gonzalez. I'm going to say Rodriguez at least one more time here tonight. I said it in yesterday's episode as well. I'm a huge golf fan, okay? Chi Rodriguez just slides off the tongue for me. But for Chi Rodriguez, let's jump straight in with you have to be feeling okay about what Chi delivered. Yes, he had some moments of rust. A few of those breaking balls were not even close to the zone. He threw more sliders than fastballs, trying to keep the Cardinals off balance. But reminder, the Cardinals are one of the hardest teams to strike out in all of baseball. They have a knack for contact. They work counts. They were really making it a hard time on Gonzalez. They were not chasing, and it was a very, very small zone. If you were watching yesterday on Bally Sports Wisconsin, Roberto Ortiz was not budging on the high strike. He was not budging on the inside corner. Made things a little more difficult. And given the way the thing started for Chi, giving up 2 runs in the top of the first inning, for him to settle in the way he did over those next 4, yes, he gave up the home run to Nolan Gorman. There wasn't a ton of loud contact in that first inning aside from the double from Arenado. I think you got exactly what you were expecting and maybe even hoping for out of Gonzalez. Of course, you're hoping for 7 shutout innings, but realistically, getting 4 innings, allowing 3 earned runs, that should have been enough to keep you in this game. And quite frankly, it was. And it should have been. The Brewers let their chances get away from them in the first couple of innings when they had Jack Flaherty on the ropes. Jack Flaherty only goes 3 innings. He ties a career high with 5 walks. But the only runs the Brewers could muster up against him was an opposite field 2-run homer by Willy Adames. The Brewers as a team went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. That is the stat of the night yesterday. There's nothing else you need to know about the game. They had opportunities, especially in those first 3 innings against Flaherty, and it kind of looked like they got rocked to sleep in that he was effectively wild. You knew the zone was tight. They were up there taking a lot of close pitches, understanding they were going to get balls, and then there'd be a bounced breaking ball, and Flaherty would be able to hunker down and get an out. He only had 1 strikeout in this game. He only threw half of his pitches for strikes. 71 total pitches, 35 of them were strikes. And that's hard to stay locked in against because most of those pitches were not even close. The Brewers, as I said, it's not an excuse. It's just what I think happened is that they kind of fell asleep at the wheel given how much the control issues there were for Flaherty in this game. Adames goes yard in the first, and you get some energy to respond to that top of the first inning. But they had nothing else the rest of the game. They got a hit in the third from Christian Yelich, a jam shot single into center. They wouldn't have another hit until a garbage time double by Luis Urias in the 9th. That can't happen. That just can't happen. And you can't expect to win in games like that. So we're not going to throw a pity party this entire episode, but that's the stat you need to know from this game. The Brewers went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, whereas the Cardinals, they went 3 for 8. They took advantage of their opportunities. What a day for Nolan Gorman again. It's the second time this season the rookie's had a 4-hit game against the Brewers. He joined some pretty elite company now, by the way, in the Cardinals franchise, as he's only 22 years old, mind you. 22 years or younger in Cardinals franchise history to have 4 hits in a game multiple times in a season. You may recognize a few of the names, of course, Stan Musial, Rogers Hornsby, Red Schoendienst, Gary Templeton, Ted Simmons, just to name a few names. In fact, now Nolan Gorman is the first to do it since Gary Templeton in 1978. That's good company in a very, very historic franchise, of course, in St. Louis. And Brewers had no answer for him. He hits 2 homers, his first multi-homer game of his career. It was the difference. He took the lead in the 4th inning off of Chi Gonzalez, a dead center home run, and then really kind of put it away, making it 4-2 in the 7th inning off of Miguel Sanchez on a changeup that is his money pitch for Sanchez. He hung one down the middle, 90 miles an hour meatball, and Gorman did not miss it. What is it about these prospects that are coming up right now? I mean, I look at Pittsburgh. O'Neal Cruz is absolutely legit in this first couple of days. We know about Ke'Bryan Hayes over there. Now you see Nolan Gorman going off right now. Jonathan India torched the Brewers last season en route to winning National League Rookie of the Year. The Central's got something in the water about rookies. And, in the first month, we saw a lot of Seiya Suzuki. He's been injured as of late, but the Brewers have been running into hot rookies a lot this season. So tip your cap, move on from Nolan Gorman. Let's find some silver linings in this one. Okay, let's just go around and look at a few positive notes in this one and then get you ready for Game 3 of this series. We're not going to take forever this episode. There's not a lot to talk about in it. Before we jump into the silver linings from the Brewers' perspective, I want to remind you about a presenting sponsor, the Sports Card Investor app. So if you're into sports card investing like it has boomed these last couple of years, you can jump into the world easily with their brand new app. It's everything you would want in the world of sports cards reimagined. It's the hobby's most powerful resource. You can quickly check the value of your favorite cards. You can find great deals. You can even profit from the hobby that you love. Look, you probably got a closet full of a shoebox full of them. I know I do back home in Arizona. I can probably find a few cards in there. I should go through the Sports Card Investor app to see what I've got. If I got anything valuable for some rookies in there or something like that. It's completely free. The app is available on both the Apple app and the Google Play Store. It's called the Sports Card Investor app. It is a must-have for baseball fans or even any sports card collector fans. They've got all the sports on there. They've got an awesome eBay feature as well, so you can instantly see the value and even find authenticated cards available there. Download the Sports Card Investor app today, available for free, or you can go to sportscardinvestor.com/lockedon. Silver linings in this one. Let's start with the bullpen. And this was made a lot, if you were watching the game yesterday, by Jeff Levering and Bill Schroeder on the call, that the team that scores first is now 10-0 in these 10 games against the Cardinals and the Brewers head-to-head. They're still 5-5. It's look, if you think this is going to be easy, if you think the Central is going to be decided by the trade deadline, you're crazy. This is, again, for the millionth time, this is going to come down to the last week of the season. So buckle up. It is not going to get easier. It's only going to get harder. You're going to face a lot more closer games. You're going to have some frustrating games. You're going to have some epic games. And a reminder, you have a game today, again, 7 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, you'll have that day game at 1:10. You don't see the Cardinals again until August, until after the trade deadline. So these two teams could look different. The race will look very, very different in the next month that you see these guys. I just remind you that you would love to win this series. A split does not hurt. You would love to win the series and get a little greedy because, look, it's going to be a long, long road to figure out who is going to win this division. Right now, you're all tied up again. Both teams are 39-31 to this point in the season, 70 games into the 2022 ranks. So the silver lining with the team who scores first, just score first. It's been something. The bullpens are so elite on both of these teams that they've held up. In fact, the Cardinals, they're a perfect 32-0 now when leading after 6 innings. And that leads me to my next silver lining. You got both Giovanni Gallegos and Ryan Helsley into this game, and they both threw multiple innings. Would they be available here tonight, despite, especially for Helsley, pitching 2 innings in a non-save situation? They have pitched on no days rest multiple times this season for both of them, and on less of a pitch count on the day before. So I wouldn't be shocked if they do have a lead, and it is a save situation, that Ollie Marmol goes back to his horses in the bullpen. He also did not have to use one of his young hotshots in Johan Oviedo. Of course, they've got Genesis Cabrera still available as a power lefty. And Adam Wainwright's getting the start here tonight, who can give you plenty of length, trying to get it to those big three that they have in their bullpen. But the silver lining is that, well, now you've seen another day of them recently. Maybe they're going to be a little fatigued here tonight if they do get into the game tonight. And maybe they have to just take the day off, and you'll see them buckle up for the day game tomorrow. So you got some more AB, some more sights on those two guys. Another silver lining is Brent Suter. He's been on a little mini good stretch as of late. Sophia Minute detailed his new routine that he's doing when he's exiting the bullpen, that he picks up his suitcases and I'm going to work, let's get in it, like a mental type thing, a mental routine for him. And it's something that he did when he was starting, according to Sophia, as Brent was telling her. And hey, whatever works, works. So he gets 4 up and 4 down in this one. Over his last now 4 appearances, he's got a total of 4 2/3, just 1 unearned run against, no walks, and he's got 4 strikeouts. Opponents are just a combined 1 for 13 against him over these last 4 appearances. Encouraging to see from Brent Suter. Is he going to pitch high leverage soon? Probably not. But you would like to have him available in your bullpen moving forward, especially now with the outlook of Aaron Ashby being placed on the IL. You don't know what you're going to get out of him coming back. It doesn't sound serious still, but I would like to keep these 2 lefties and have 2 effective lefties. Hobie Milner has become a de facto fireman. Well, I'd love to have Brent Suter available for multiple innings in effective relief. So that was a lovely sight to see for the Brewers. Silver lining, Luis Urias double in the 9th inning on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Helsley. He gets 2 hits. He was the only Brewer with multiple hits. And, of course, Willy Adames, his first opposite field home run of the 2022 season. I mean, he's a guy that thrives up the middle and the other way. He's hit a lot of pulled home runs this season, which is not really like Willy, especially last year. Pulling up his StatCast numbers from a season ago and peeking at his home runs. Now, what you may think is opposite field doesn't technically register as opposite field sometimes. It's basically gap to gap registers as straight away. Then anything from the right center field gap, basically picture the bullpen and over to the foul line, is considered opposite field. So you really do need to poke it a long way to the opposite side in order to get that to register. Well, last season he hit 25 home runs total, right? He hit 10 of them as opposite, and then another 5 of them as straightaway. So 15 of his 25 homers were either to straightaway or to the opposite way. This year, that was only his first home run to the opposite way. And then when you look at the pull numbers, he's got 7 pulls out of his 14 homers. That's not like him. So he's got now a total of 6 straightaway, 1 opposite field, and 7 pulls. Let's see if he starts flicking it the other way a little bit more often here moving forward for the Brew Crew. So I love seeing that from Willie. He's been swinging the bat well. He's tied for the team lead now with 14 home runs. And see if they try to get back on track. They only had 4 hits in this game. Yes, they drew 6 walks. They only struck out 6 times. Again, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position is not going to win you many, many games. And for Chi Gonzalez, you may need him 1 or 2 more times coming around this rotation. Brandon Woodruff is going to be making another rehab start. That'll be tomorrow in Appleton. So if you got tickets up in Appleton, you're the lucky one in the bunch. Go up, check out Brandon Woodruff. He's expected to throw about 70 pitches with the T-Rattlers up there. So go check that out. Mike Brasso was there as well yesterday. Also Trevor Gott in there yesterday, both on rehab in Appleton. Things are looking up for the Brewers on the health department. Colton Long is just bunting and hitting in the cage. He's not yet running on the field. So those are some minor silver linings right now for the Brewers. Let's get ready for Adam Wainwright and Eric Lauer tonight. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs is making it easier to grow your team, and they want to help you find the right people you want to interview faster and for free. It just takes minutes on LinkedIn Jobs, and you can reach your network and beyond with the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. That's almost like 1 billion, guys. It's so many people on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn. You can post your job quickly and easily with screening questions. You can focus on the right candidates with the right skills and experience to quickly prioritize who you want to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. So they want to help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week there are nearly 40 million job seekers that visit LinkedIn? You can post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB. Again, linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB. We're also brought to you by Blue Nile. Look, whether you're ready to pop the question this summer or you're celebrating a milestone moment, you can find jewelry as unique as her with the modern convenience of online shopping at BlueNile.com. They have simple online tools to help you choose the diamond shape, the size, the clarity, the setting style. Look, if you're like me, I got nothing on fine jewelry. But Blue Nile's bench jewelers will help handcraft her perfect engagement ring, and each one is one of a kind. If you need help, if you need to chat with somebody, they're available via phone or online chat to help you find a memorable gift at any budget. You can make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Locked On Brewers listeners can get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This is a podcast exclusive, and it includes engagement. Use code LOCKEDON. Again, the code is LOCKEDON. That's simple. And every single order is insured. It ships for free and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Promo code LOCKEDON for $50 off any purchase of $500 or more at BlueNile.com today. Adam Wainwright and Eric Lauer. Wainwright, 5-5, a 3.06 ERA this season. Lauer, 6-2, a 3.57 ERA this season. Now, the Brewers handled Adam Wainwright earlier this season in a start that was both here and in St. Louis. Wainwright in Milwaukee on April 14th on opening day at home, the home opener. He gave up 8 hits, 4 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings. And then in St. Louis, he gave up 10 hits over 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 were earned. Also allowed a home run in that game and had only 2 strikeouts in that one. He's coming off of a start against the Red Sox. He took the loss. He worked into the 7th inning for the 4th straight start for him. Allowed 7 hits, 4 runs. All were earned. He threw 96 pitches against the Red Sox, and again, took the loss in that one as the Cardinals lost 6-5. Eric Lauer gets the ball for the Brewers. The home run has been biting him as of late. Lauer has allowed a trio of homers in each of his last 2 games, and the home run total now on the season is up to 14. He gave up 16 all of last season, so kind of a similar regression in the power numbers like Corbin Burns so far this season. He's coming off of a win. It was by the skin of his teeth, but a win working into the 7th inning against the Reds, as we mentioned, allowing 3 homers, 4 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings. He has really slowed down with the strikeouts as of late. I look at a couple of numbers that really jump out at me when it comes to Eric Lauer trying to be effective, and it's going to be especially tough, as we mentioned at the top of this podcast. The Cardinals are one of the hardest teams to strike out in the big leagues. Lauer, his whiff rate per month has dropped. So in April, he had a whiff rate of 30%. Here in June, it's just 19%. That is a very significant drop for a power lefty like Eric Lauer. And his strikeout rate has subsequently dropped as well. Here in June, he's just got a 14% strikeout rate. It was 36% in April. He's got 11 strikeouts and 7 walks in 17 innings this month. The Brewers really would like to get back on track with him on the mound. They are 1-2 in his starts this month, but he still has a 6-2 record. He has been getting run support. He has faced these Cardinals once this season. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He had 4 walks, which was a season high at the time. It was tied a couple of weeks ago. Only had 1 strikeout against the Cardinals. That's what I circle. We're talking about these whiff numbers going down, the strikeout numbers going down. You're facing the team that only struck out against you once the last time you saw them on May 26th. The Brewers did end up winning that game 4-3, but you would like to see Eric Lauer pitch a little more effectively here down the stretch. I mean, at the start of the month, his ERA was 2.38. Now it's 3.57. a run and a quarter better than what it was, worse than what it was at the start of the month. Would like to see him get back on track. Fun fact about Adam Wainwright. This will be his 45th career start against the Brewers. 45 career starts, not just relief outings, starts. That will be the third most in Brewer franchise history as an opponent facing them. Real quick, can you guess who the top two are? Who has the most career starts as an opponent to the Brewers in their career? Jeopardy music. All right, time's up. Number 2, Jack Morris of the Tigers, 46 career starts, so Wainwright might tie him by the end of the year. And number 1, shouldn't be really surprised, Bert Blyleven. Both Hall of Famers. Blyleven had 51 career starts against the Brewers in his HOF career for him. So that was a fun little bit of trivia for you here to wrap up this episode. Brewers and Cardinals, Game 3 of a 4-game set. Tonight, 7:10 first pitch, Bally Sports, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 6:30. Hope to see you on television or on the radio, of course, too. If you haven't already, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, @LockedOnBrewers. I'm Dom Catronio. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep on swinging.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.